In the building, of course, there's all the men and guys and boys and I don't know what pronouns you guys always go with. So I must just say your names, in fact, that make it what it is. Let me start all the way at Tegwini in Durban. Here's the mayor of football. When it comes to all things football at Tegwini, you go to him at Pro Pilana Pro. Welcome. Always great to have you.
Good evening, good Andile. Good evening to the gentlemen in studio, and good evening to the listeners of number one sports show in South Africa.
At the moment, he goes by one name. What is it? It's Dr. Mnandi. What is it? School of Excellence?
Mnandi Sports Academy.
Dr. Mnandi Sports Academy. Yeah. That's what I should address him. Dr. Mnandi Sports Academy is with us as well. Of course, he's a former Bafana Kaizer Chiefs, Bloemfontein Celtic, Golden Arrows, Maritzburg United, Super Sport United. Nkotlweni.
Friste Stars.
He's played all for those teams. Welcome.
Thank you, siyabonga Andile. Sesibuyile into ezimnandi zikhona. Ngishilo ngathi hayi le Friday ebese sijahile kakhulu sikhipha ipika manje abantu mabalalele.
Mkonza, you captained Bafana for a game, didn't you?
Yes, for a game.
How many games? 3 games. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 games.
Yeah, but his squad sambe is strong. Bona bopeni lapho. Ngithatha
Boba captain.
Ngangibheka usemanzini. Uyaza ngitele.
Who was part of the squad you captained?
Benny, Quintin.
You captained that squad?
Wena mara ngibheka usemanzini. Awungangifila ngithi.
Pure Mkonza. From now on, guys, he's former Bafana captain, okay? Let's get it straight. And next to him is, I need to say this slowly, because I say it like how everybody writes it on Twitter. They say Nadim. It's Nadim. Nadim?
Yeah, thank you, Andile. It's good being here.
Hey, guys, let's go straight into it. No,
I'll get him during the game.
Guys, this is our 90 minutes. It's unfortunately a little bit shorter than 90 minutes, so let's make the best of it. Let's start at Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah. At the beginning of the season, Nadim said they need 12 players, right? He said they need 12 players in order to bolster their squad. Well, they've made another signing, but in making that signing, they've had to let go of Caleb. Kaizer Chiefs have signed a new player. He's got I don't know how to say. I mean, I can't wait to speak to him or to somebody.
Alphabet.
Yeah, because his name is not easy to say. But Gonzalez, let's go with Gonzalez. They've signed Gonzalez.
Yeah, they've signed Gonzalez. Obviously, letting go of Ukaleb. They're trying to open up a foreign quota, so they can sign an extra foreign player. Obviously, they're letting go of Ukalep and Lomundo Gonzalez. Not a profile. He scored 8 goals, 16 matches. You can see
that's a goal every 2 games.
Every goal every 2 games. Yeah, we're Colombia. So, hey, Chiefs is serious. Nadim?
Yeah, I'm impressed with Kaizer Chiefs because they can't sign the right players if they sign few players. They just need to keep on signing. They'll figure it out. So you saw Castillo. You saw Castillo scoring. I mean, no one expected that. I mean, they're improving the team, which is good. Kaizer Chiefs might be actually make the top 8. Solidify the top 8 with their signings.
Pro, you saw the new signing. You saw they've let go of Caleb. Caleb, I can tell you now, he is an emotional rut after being let go by Kaizer Chiefs. Do you think it was a good move?
I'm disappointed that they decided to release Caleb because Caleb was beginning to settle down, and he was enjoying himself in South Africa, and you could see who would he given a chance. Maybe we are going to see another fight of Caleb in that Kaizer Chiefs setup, but whatever that happened, I know that he said he's free and he's happy that his prayers have been answered. The new striker will have to adapt, settle down. I don't know how long it's going to take him. But we wish him all the best, and we wish Kaizer Chiefs all the best.
But see, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but Pilano, we can't say we're disappointed. He says, "Yeah, look, he's when we are small." Caleb, for me, yes, he scored 8 goals, 11 goals. I still believe that he in how Chiefs play, you need to play the way it suits Caleb. But Caleb needs to fit into how Chiefs play. And that is why they let him go. I mean, in just a season, I still believe that Asazu Gonzalez Uspateleni, Sizombona, but I think Caleb, now we needed to play crossing, we needed to play direct because of, remember, the top striker now influences the style of play.
I agree with Pilani.
I agree with match.
No, but that was his first season. Some players, most foreign players, they take time to settle in the PSL. Only Besuma that you'll think of that he did well. That was his second season. I honestly think maybe the second season will do better, but you never know. Okay.
I mean, when you look at his goal return, and this is the conversation we're having with Ranga Chibabir, to say at Kaizer Chiefs, and Caleb is showing that. You don't have time to get 5, 10, 15 games to adjust and settle. You need to hit the ground running when you are at a Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah. I think
and it did hit to do with those penalties. I mean, it's not like he took time. Penalties, it's still a goal, because if you score 10 goals, you don't minus a penalty. For me, I feel he was going to do better the second season.
Let's stay at Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah,
I had a conversation.
It's not like he scored all penalties and there was not even a single goal. Come on.
Let's still go to Kaizer Chiefs. If you're listening in and you want to weigh in on that particular conversation with Kaizer Chiefs, welcoming Gonzalez from South America, and Caleb saying goodbye to Kaizer Chiefs. Hey, hit us up. It's 060-552-7303. Let's move on now to another Kaizer Chiefs story. I had Dr. Khumalo and Howard Freeze yesterday. An interesting conversation that I thought many people enjoyed and loved, that their heroes were honored in that way. But have a listen to this. This is Dr. Khumalo when he was here.
And that's a tricky question. I would like to believe that the chairman has made a decision, and personally, I wouldn't have a problem at all, if there's any other player that probably plays better or above me, or what I contributed to Kaizer Chiefs. The problem is that
I think I laughed a little too loud there. So let's get one thing straight. Dr. Khumalo never retired jersey number 15.
Yeah.
Howard Freeze never retired jersey number 20.
Yeah.
This is an honor that was bestowed upon them.
Yeah.
And it's not retired, never to be used again.
Yeah.
If a player that they think or deem worthy of it comes around, both of them said they'd be more than happy to give that jersey. What do you think of the whole retirement of jerseys? I mean, we've got it at Orlando Pirates with players that have passed, but also you've got it with the jersey number 10. And a lot of people feeling Teko should have had an opportunity to wear that jersey number 10. Pilane, what is your thoughts on the conversation of retired jerseys?
I'm not in favor of retired jerseys. Solely because there are players that you honestly feel they contributed a lot. I was listening to the show, and another listener spoke about Ace Ntsoleng. And when you listen to Dr. Kaizer Motaung talking about Kaizer Chiefs' best 5 players, yes, Dr. Khumalo is there, Ace Ntsoleng is there, and Itumeleng Khune is there. You mean to tell me that Itumeleng Khune's number 32 will also be retired? So it means now we are going to get to a level where almost 10 jersey numbers are retired at the football club. I'm not a fan, but it's entirely up to the club to make those decisions. And I'm happy that Doctor has excluded himself in the conversation. He has never said the jersey must be retired, but it was a decision taken by the chairman. So for me, to be honest with you, Andile, I'm not a fan.
Mkhonza, let's go to you with this one. Once again, they didn't retire their own jerseys.
Yeah. I think Andile, when the club does it, because they look at their distinguished playing career that Dr. Howard Freeze have had at the club, but also it has to represent as a symbol and a testimony to the spirit of the love and peace Kaizer Chiefs. Howard Freeze captained the club. 28 trophies that he has won, 3 league titles that he has won with Kaizer Chiefs, and very, very disciplined man. He has done well for the club. But I don't see it as a problem, because there's a basketball in Baishaya Andile. It's an honor the club showing to the player, hence Doctor has had a very distinguished career, playing career at Kaizer Chiefs, now Howard Freeze. But I still believe that for me, now, when the club does it, it's okay.
Let's take a break. I'm going to play you a clip from yet another conversation or another story that happened over the weekend. Rulani Mokoena speaking about coaching not being a talk show, but in the same breath, conversation we've had once again, and I've got a feeling it's going to be an ongoing conversation for a long time. Speaking about qualifications versus no qualifications, have a listen to what Rulani had to say.
When you are not a coach, you don't get your licenses. You undermine the job of coaches. A lot of people think coaching is very, very easy. It's not a talk show. It's not. Coaching is not a talk show. Coaching is rolling up your sleeves and handling, especially at Sundowns, handling precious jewels. You're dealing with people's careers, and this is their ability to feed their families.
And of course, Rulani wasn't speaking about any other coach but himself, because he had made mistakes in the game that he had played against Swallows, and he says he recognizes the mistakes he made, and he feels like, you need to be prepared to take responsibility for that as well. Nadeem, once again, the coaching badges or the coaching qualifications comes up this time around from a coach, and this is where it gets tricky. He had just played Golden Arrows when he said that, and we know the situation of Golden Arrows with the coaches, and next he's playing cheaper. And we know the conversation with the coaching badges are cheaper there as well.
So that's where,
so that's where it gets a bit tricky. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because I've always seen the best coaches in the world are usually the one with more experience. Sure, Pep Guardiola and Zidane were an exception where they just played football immediately, started winning. But if you look at a guy like Carlo Ancelotti, has been coaching for the past 30 years. So it's more of an experience than the qualifications.
But the ones you speak of have qualifications.
Yes, they do. But if you look at the kind of coaches who have UEFA Pro license, remember when Zidane started coaching, the La Liga, they were against him because they felt he didn't have the badges. He's the first coach in history, and he's the only one to win 3 successive Champions League without all those kind of things. But he did it because as a requirement, not because he couldn't coach. So I'm not sure if it does.
Let me bring it to you locally. What coach here in South Africa has impressed you and done well and become a success without qualifications?
I'm in favor of I'm not saying I'm against it,
okay,
but I don't want it to be done as to be Likli, Vusmuz, and my Butikanye and also Mokan Mamila. It shouldn't be done like that, because if Rwanda is doing that, he's gonna.
I don't think that's what he was doing, but I do.
Because even Pizzo is one of the most qualified coaches. He has done well, Gavin Hunt, but most of the time you'll hear them that I made a mistake. Sometimes they do make a mistake with all those rich history of qualifications. So I honestly think it doesn't go down in a match day. Once the match starts, it doesn't go down to qualification. You read the game differently. Sometimes you can plan a game, then it changes. You get a red card, like Jali did get a red card. All the plans, they just go away. So yes, they're important coaching qualifications, but it shouldn't be used to make other coaches feel like, okay, I'm not supposed to be here.
Pro Pilani?
I think the context of qualifications that Coach Rwanda was talking about, it was him recovering from a mistake that he has made in the previous games or even in other games. Remember, in the match against Wydad Casablanca, the second leg, he made a mistake by not locking the game or introducing an extra defender to process the 2-1 lead. And if you have noticed this season, he is now starting to lock games. He's starting to introduce a defender when he's leading, and he's trying to process the lead. And I think these are the kind of things that he's talking about, that the experience that he has gained and the qualification that he has realized that as a coach, as a head coach, he makes mistakes, and he is now willing to learn and correct those mistakes. I think he was speaking in that context, but I know that we all understood him differently, and we may interpret him differently. But for me, I don't think that he intended to belittle any coach or undermine any coach in the league. I think he was talking about himself and the experiences that he has gained over the past few matches that he has coached.
Mkonza, you're a coach on route to badges. You're a coach on route to qualifications. So what are your thoughts on to be qualified or not to be qualified?
You have to be qualified. You need to be accredited. And I can tell you right now, modern football, okay, let me just give an example. Lampard, Rooney, Gerrard, in England, they fast-track them by giving them these badges without earning their stripes in terms of apprenticeship. It's important that you have experience to coach. And coaching, it also helps you in terms of expanding your knowledge. Modern football requires a coach that can be dealing with interpersonal relationship within the club. It goes beyond tactical board, because let's be blunt and be specific. Morgan Mamila from CEO to the coach. It can only happen in South Africa. You won't find that in Belgium, Holland, all the other countries. And I'm not undermining Morgan as a person, but you need to earn your stripes to be able to be a coach. You need to put in more hours. And Andile,
you know what, I disagree with you. Leonardo was just a director at Milan. He became a coach without any coaching qualification. He becomes AC Milan. No, but it's because he went
because you are paid.
No.
We are paid.
Look. No, you must understand this story. He did well at AC Milan. They were in the top 3.
Yeah.
They Qatar, when they bought PSG, they asked him to be part of the team that would run the team for them. He didn't like it coaching. He stopped. He's got so many options. So I disagree with you. You can't say you'll never find it. In Italy, one of the top 5 leagues in the world, it happened, where a guy will coach the best team in Italy or the second best team in Italy, AC Milan. It does happen. It's not something that you're unheard of.
I'm not saying ayenzakali. Ngithi mina then baphi labo bantu, because sometimes yes ungayimanipulate the situation.
No, where's Lampard? Where's Lampard?
Lampard, they never
Lampard has lost the last how many games? 20 games in a row with all the coaching qualifications.
But Lampard, Nadim, I'm saying, Lampard, England fast-track them into coaching system without earning the right stripes. And you need at least 5-year experience to be able to coach in the top league. You need to improve players. And coaching is not just about standing there in front. We didn't go to academies and all that. And Maupega, you can't go to the next level because your foundation is not correct. Your makeup is not correct because you are not coached by people that are qualified. So if like South Africa, issue talents, the reason I'm a player can't go to the next level because Bawela that are not fully qualified for them to elevate themselves. So
Right.
coaching is, you need to be accredited as a coach.
And Snootdop is one of the most qualified coaches. What happened to him?
Coaching goes with calling.
No,
also.
but he was one of the most qualified
this
coaches.
This is where I'm going.
So-
In this theory, coaching it's practical. It's not just only theory, but also practical, and it's also calling. Coach.
Yeah, Milan Top just resigned on CV and is coming back. He also said he
Yeah,
can't
theory theory calling.
It's 30 after the hour 6. Let's go to the last one now. It's a big one. It's one that needs us as South Africans to look into ourselves. Remember, we're going to be closing out the show with the gents giving us their best player this week. It is the Sports That Amplified with Andile Player of the Week that the guys are going to give us. And of course, we're going to be looking at one team and saying, hey, it's not make sure. Which team is that? We'll get into that. Right now, though, here's Omar Okaktugba. If you want to know who he is, go look him up on Twitter. OMA Omar Okaktugba. You'll see that he's a big boy when it comes to journalism, particularly on the African continent, but working in Europe. You know, he sits in the press briefings with Pep Guardiola, with all the UEFA Champions teams. He's accredited and also a friend of all the big superstars, and that's where he gets his best news from. Have a listen to what he had to say about South Africa.
South Africa's greatest undoing is the lack of talent, despite having all of the organizational acumen, which is actually now suffering, because we saw what happened with the girls, which was shocking to me, because we always say South Africa is the pride as far as football organization in Africa is concerned. Unfortunately, not having talent like Nigeria, Ghana, and the like.
Pro?
I know he's Nigerian. When you say South Africa does not have talent, he's speaking as a Nigerian, not as an objective journalist that we're hoping.
Let me give you context. The context is that's why over the years you can go back to readmission. The number of South Africans that have played in Europe compared to Ghanaians, Nigerians, Ivorians, and we can go on to the continent is nowhere near enough.
No, but Andile, we must also understand the hegemonic forces that these two players are coming from. The South African boy can survive even in the economy of this country, even whether it's bad or good. A Nigerian boy cannot survive in their economy. That is why they leave their country.
So, Pilane, you think that South Africans don't go to Europe because they're comfortable here?
The South Africans are comfortable here, Andile. You know that's a fact. And you know that Steve Lekolea went to Holland and they came back and you said he missed the streets of Evan and he came back to South Africa. So South Africans are comfortable at home. That is why they go overseas, they play in Scandinavia, they come back at home and then they continue with their careers. So for me, I don't think the South African players have the will and the desire to stay long in European countries. Yes, there are those exceptional situations like about May Matlangu and Nababo Lyle Foster. Now they are there in the Premiership. So for me, I don't think that
top 5 leagues:
Italy,
England, Germany. What else you have? Spain. What's the 5th one? France.
Yeah, it's France.
Those
German,
are the top 5 leagues.
Yeah.
How many players playing at that level?
None.
No, I mean, you've got Lyle Foster now.
Yeah, one.
And then, fine, let me not say now.
We only have one.
Let me not say now. Let's go here. Let's say when you look at the height of South Africa, when we had the best players, the most players, we all agree that 1996 was the height of our football. Yeah. Nadeem, with that in mind, Omar, is he talking washing or Kulmintakon?
He's very intelligent. What he said, there's not even a single lie. He's right. West African players... West African players are better than us. If Pilane, let's say we just step back and take Pilane's point and say they are going there in those countries because of maybe their league are not as strong economical. Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian league is way better than South Africa. It pays better. It is VAR. There's everything. It's a world-class league. But Salah is one of the best players. He's playing for Liverpool in the Premier League. He's the highest paid player in Liverpool because he's good. South African players are not good enough to make it in the top teams in Europe. Because of talent-wise, we were lacking compared to the West Africa and North African teams. That's a fact. I honestly thought Pilane will also see that Hakim Ziyech might leave Chelsea to Galatasaray. He's from Morocco. He's a top-class player. He's talented. No one is talented. He's made 10 times better than most of the players in the PSL or Bafana players. Sure. So Mane, there's no player who's talented than Mane in South African football now. Ganja. As a matter of fact, he has won the Champions League, won the leagues with Liverpool, one of the top 10 Ballon d'Or players. They are talented. They can play in their country, some of them, in their league. And Pesita plays in Egypt because it gets paid way better than while he was getting paid at Sundown.
That's not what Patrice said.
No, it's not true. Patrice was not... Okay,
No, I'm not. I can't disagree, Nadim. I don't know.
I don't want you to suspend me next week. but honestly,
I hear you.
But honestly speaking, Pesitao, you know him very well. He's getting paid more than what was getting at Sundowns. Ali, they pay. So it's not like that. That players, they go where they will get more money. South African, in terms of talent, we are not there. That's why Dr. Kumalo is regarded as the greatest South African player, but he never made it in the top teams in Europe. There's a question mark that maybe his talent was good enough for South Africa, but not for Europe.
It's a foundation, Andile. I think for me now, we've got talent, but Alwele Zandile is right. And there's no other way of trying to we need to restructure and nurture talent. South Africa, we've got infrastructure. Why are we not doing so?
For almost 30 years.
It is because
it's falling on wrong hands for 30 years.
Andile, let me tell you one thing. If we can have a fixed structure that will help us develop players, Convey Belt needs to continue produce.
Have you seen what happens in Nigeria?
Okay.
Have you seen Ghana?
I understand.
Have you seen Ivory Coast? They don't have any of that. They have no infrastructure.
With structure, Lucas Sadebe went under when he went to Cape Town United.
But okay,
go for it.
Andile, let me tell you one thing out here. As long as Singagalung is structure say to underground, ayikho soyenza. Yes, italent elikhona angalingathi asina talent. Thina sabantu bokuhosta kuphela. Yes, hosta kamnandi mara asichazwa hosta.
At the height of South Africa, let's talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
At the height of South Africa.
Let's count those players.
How many players?
6
played. So during the 96 squad, six of them, Babis, by 6 who played overseas.
Eric Tinkler, Sean Bartlett, Phil Masinga, Lucas Radebe.
Top 5 leagues.
Mark
Fish, yeah.
And the goalkeeper Arendse.
So if you go 30 years, that's when we started, right?
Yeah.
Up until now, there's no point where Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal have only 6 players playing in the top 5 leagues.
Yeah, because
at the moment, the entire squad plays in the top 5 leagues except for 4 players.
Let me tell you.
You can go back to 96 and it's always been like that. We've never had 10 players at one time playing in the top 5 leagues.
And a good example, Penny McCarthy win a Champions League with Porto. He went on to sign a Blackburn, a team that was fighting to be in the top 5 of the Premier League. John Obi Mikel went to Ajax Cape Town for trials. They rejected him. He went on to sign for Manchester United or Chelsea. They were fighting for him to show that he was more talented. I saw him the first time. I thought Andile Jalo was good up until I saw John Obi Mikel live. I realized he's 10 times better than Jali in terms of passing, in terms of every complete player. Those players are way better than us. We need to accept that.
With West African players, Andile, their hunger is completely in a different level.
We're not talking about hunger. I want to know about football ability.
You know, I'm going to separate. Because you can have the talent, but if you don't have a hunger, also happy.
So you think Pesitao doesn't have hunger?
No, he has, but
why was he not successful at Pride? No, but
who?
No, there's no talent.
Mazola just corrected us. In fact, there are 2 players that are playing in the top 5 leagues, guys. No, not 1, 2. Because Mutiba in France as well.
Yeah. But
that's the thing. To make it simple, for me, I don't look at. I say Champions League football. We don't even have a single one for the past many years.
When last did we have a Champions League player?
You.
Who was our last Champions League? Bro, who was our last Champions League player?
I think it was Terrero.
No, it's Pesitao Club Rouge.
That's
true.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Guys, this one is not one that's going to end now and end right here. The time is what we don't have. Let's get Lindelo Moyo on the line as to look at the stats of the weekend. But quickly, a break. It's just never enough time on a Friday, guys. I'm terribly sorry. But we need to look forward to the weekend. Firstly, hey, David Egurleni gave us a call for the fixtures. This is what he had to say. And do you remember the fixtures? The 4 of them. Congratulations. You and Konza are the only 2 people that got them spot right. Have a listen. Let's move on to David Atenugurleni. David, hey, talk to me.
Yeah, yes, I'm going to start with my predictions of the last 4. Sundowns will go through, Pirates will go through, Stellenbosch will go through, between Cape Town City and Chiefs. I give it to Chiefs.
There you go. Him and Mkonza, the only 2. Pro didn't get it right. Nadim didn't get it right. With that being said, let's go to Opta Jabu out in Cape Town. Remember, follow it. It's at Opta Jabu. He needs to tell me what he's doing because I went on that link, man. I didn't quite get through the monetization part when I Opta. You must fix it. Lindelo.
Andile, good evening to you. Good evening to the guests in studio and everyone also listening on the radio.
Hey, man, there's a lot to talk about. Supersport versus Cape Town City. Let's start there.
There's always a lot to talk about, Andile. That's why we love this game. So SuperSport hosts Cape Town City tonight, and it's not a good game for Eric Tinkler. He's lost 10 games against Gavin Hunt already, more than he has against any other coach.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. What about Cape Town City? What are some of the things they've never done? I mean, you're saying their coach has never won against Kevin Hunt. What else?
The thing is, they're on the verge of something special, actually. They're currently on 2 wins from their 2 opening games.
Mm-hmm.
They've never won 3 opening games in any season since they were in the top flight.
Wow.
They've also won 4 league games in a row, if you include last season. They've never won 5 league games in a row ever since they were in the top flight.
Wow.
And then finally, they are currently on 4 clean sheets in a row, including last season, and they've never kept 5 clean sheets in a row ever since they became a top 5 club.
Speaking about chasing records, Sundowns are chasing a record as well.
Yes, sounds like we say that every month or every other
week. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Sundowns chasing records. It's gone unnoticed a little bit, but if you count since they lost to SuperSport last year in September, it's now 27 league games since Sundowns lost a game.
26 straight. No losses.
No,
27 no losses.
No losses.
Unbeaten in 27.
27. 121 and drew 6.
And I mean, he still keeps the record, Rulani, of not having been lost in the league as not having lost a game as a coach.
Yes,
as the head coach.
He hasn't lost a game. But now, if Sundowns don't lose this weekend, then they equal the second best record ever in PSL history, which is 28 that was sent by Sundowns just 4 years ago.
All right. Give me one more. I want to know about TS Galaxy and Kaizer Chiefs.
TS Galaxy, Kaizer Chiefs, another game from the weekend. Chiefs have struggled a bit in the opening of the season. They haven't won any of their 2 games. In fact, it's been 5 years since Chiefs last failed to win any of their 3 opening games in a season. And that was in 2018 under Giovanni Solinas, the Italian.
Hey, listen, Opta, if Shalulile scores this weekend, it's also a special goal, isn't it?
Yes, as usual, Shalulile, if he scores this weekend, he becomes the top-scoring foreign player in South African football history ever.
So if he scores this weekend, wow, that's crazy. He's surpassed Collins Basuma already.
He passed Collins Basuma this past week. He's now aiming for Tico. He's one behind him, and he can do that this weekend or the following week to equal that record of 104 goals in the top flight.
I appreciate you so much. Follow him. It's at Opta Jabu. He helps a lot when it comes to stats on football. I use him even when I'm on the air. Thank you so much, Opta. I really appreciate it. Fix that monetization thing so we can start pumping it.
We'll do that. Andile, it was just overwhelmed. There was so much demand that it actually broke. But
no, we need to fix it because we need to thank you for the work you do.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
There we go. Guys, we don't have much time because this is the caller's time now, and already they're calling. They want to get involved. So let's get to some of the games very quickly. You can pick the game you want to talk about. Let me start with you, Pro. Pro, which game do you want to talk about from this weekend?
Well, KZN Derby. Coach Paitano is breathing through the wounds. If he doesn't win against Amazulu, there's going to be a problem because it's going to be a third loss. But I'm looking forward to watch that match because Amazulu as well, they have not registered a win. They've drawn, I think, their first 2 games, and they need this win desperately. So we might be looking at an open game, and it's going to be interesting to see who takes the full points. 5:30
tomorrow, Amazulu versus Richards Bay. But who are you giving it to? You can't just say that.
It's going to be difficult on because it's a KZN derby, and you know, I've got a soft spot for KZN team, and I've got a soft spot for. No. I don't want him Konza and Nadim to celebrate Coach Kaitano's demise, but it's going to be a difficult one for.
Yeah, you said
so basically, it's Amazulu, is what you're saying.
I'm saying it's going to be an open game.
Konza, one game. Which one are you going with?
Royal AM Stellenbosch. I think Stellenbosch are strong at home. They've beaten Pirates 1-0. Obviously, they lost in Pulukwana. So, but if you peg Royal AM and we look at the squad, I'm worried. We looked at the squad. I don't think they'll make an impact. And how they've played against Pirates, losing 4-2 to Pirates, it says a lot about Guti Banjan. John Matuka and dig deep in order for Royal AM to do well.
So who are you giving it to?
I'm giving it to Stellenbosch.
Stellenbosch to beat Royal AM. One game.
Yeah, Kaizer Chiefs, guys. I mean, they're 8 points behind Sundowns. I mean,
they play TS Galaxy, yeah?
Yeah, and
on Sunday.
And Bombela. I mean, it's one of those matches. And TS Galaxy, they're very solid at home. They don't mind drawing a game there. So I feel like it's going to continue with that trend. where we'll see Chiefs playing 3 games without actually winning even a single game.
Okay, guys, this is a new thing that we're doing. Normally, I'd give you time to expand a little bit more, but I'm not going to give you. I'm going to give you a good 15 seconds each. I'm going to start with Mkonza. Mkonza, your Sports Night Amplified Player of the Week, as well as the team that you think it's not quite make sure.
Marcelo Allende wins the amplifies.
Marcelo Allende of Sundowns.
Yeah, okay. 73 passes per match. Andile. It shows good influence is huge. And then the team that is not make sure, I think, is Kukune for me. They've got resources.
It's Kukune.
Andile. Ngibukele kahle ngathi banama resource banama player bayasayina ngapha nangapha but angiboni kahle ngathi
baba ropile against Swallows.
Yeah, yekela leyo. Bheka performance ayingizwa kahle because I said to you, even if the performance is not great, but you must see in a structure zonke into zihamba kanjani.
Dr. Mnandi Academy speaking there, not him. Let's go to you, Pro. You've got 15 seconds.
Marcelo Allende is definitely my player of the week. Top football player. A team that does not make sure it's a tie between Cape Town Spurs and Richards Bay.
Nadim?
Yeah, my player of the week is Goodman Marcelo. Match-winning performance against Orlando Pirates and he scored that goal. I mean, it was the second man of the match. Also, it was the man of the match against Kaizer Chiefs. Against the big teams, he's been showing up.
What a goal that.
And also, you will think maybe against Sundowns will improve. Looking how he left Pirates, it's so impressive seeing him doing so well.
And the team that's not make sure?
Yeah, I know what. There are so many, but Richards Bay, they're just like, they don't look like they can improve. I don't even know where's the improvement going to come from.
Let's take your voice notes now when we come back. No, let's not even go anywhere. Let's go straight to voice notes and then take your calls.
I think on Chiefs releasing Caleb, I mean, I'm not a fan of Chiefs, but then Benzegash, I mean, Caleb Agalazi put off it. Sharp, Pilani and Nadim, I fully, totally disagree with you there. On the issue of jerseys, about retire. Come on, guys. I think it's time now this thing of retiring jerseys in South Africa come to an end. I mean, there's no player who can play like Jomo Sono, but there's no player who can play like Lerebohele Bofokeng right now here in South Africa. The ordinary from Pirates. Let's go to the issue of talent. We have talent, but guys, focus on the league now. Let's forget about the past league. Focus on the league now. What is small boys from Supersport, Stellenbosch, Swallows, Pirate? Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. The coaches are saying, the coach just sent me a message. I'll tell you about it. Play the next one.
Hey, Andile, Pro Ivory Park. I just want to say, when it comes to talent,
no, I'm from Ivory Park.
I agree with Nadim. West African countries are far better than us. And it seems like we're making excuses when we talk about hunger and all the other things. But when it comes to talent, West African countries are way far better than us.
Evening, Andile.
Hey.
Simple. Nigeria versus South Africa soccer players. Why is Nigeria more successful? Nigerian soccer players, my brother, are much more hungrier. It's not a matter of talent or anything or skill. They are hungrier than our players. Our players are used to getting things, on a silver platter. So that is one issue that we really must look at there.
All right, thank you very much.
Sharp Andile.
Appreciate it. What we'll do is we'll carry on that conversation because it's seemingly one that needs a full show.
Can I say one thing?
Very quickly.
Dan Clayton, he recently said the money that you make in the PSL is not good for you when you retire. So it's not even true that there are players in South Africa they get enough. Dan Clayton said you cannot survive with the money you make in South Africa after you've retired.
Let's go to Lunga. Is it Lunga? Who's online? Who's online too? I can't see that to me. My glasses are not getting me there. Hi, caller. Hello? Yes, Jimmy askisi man Jimmy. Ake wone man. Kufa 30 seconds are.
Bonang ne. Nebindukele Propilani, Spium Kwanza.
Mister.
Why always a player this year is a nice player? Next season, uswile dololo kuirehalang tathamolele mo bafana ba ka tsovetso.
Tathamolela boy. Thank you so much Jimmy Macau. Let's go to I think it's Dixon. Is it Dixon? Hello?
Hello.
Hi. So you're going to have to forgive me, Uncle Angibu. Talk to me.
Hello.
Hi, talk to me.
Oh, Andile, it's Lunga from Rollyport.
Oh, Lunga. Thank you so much, man. Yep.
Yeah. Ngiyabona sosinga 30 seconds mara
askisi man esimunye kakhulu namhlanje man
Okay, let's just save time. Ngicela sisirekele le ndaba sikwazi ukukhuluma kabanzi ngayo yabo.
Hey, Blewle talent.
Yeah, sure.
I think I'm gonna get probably like a, Walter Steenbok, get him into studio and let's have that proper conversation. We'll do it Wednesday. We'll do it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Dixon.
Hi, Andile.
Hey, how are you? Talk to me.
Yeah, gone are those days whereby coaches will be sitting at home there, smoking expensive cigar and drinking expensive cognac there. They must start working now. They're getting exposed. I'm glad that Rulani is exposing them. Rulani is such a hard worker. You can even check the assistant. What's the guy's name? The gentleman's name, Loftman. Go check that guy's CV. Gone are those days. People like Dance Malefela, they tried by all means to run away from getting licenses. Now they're coached 20 years without even winning a league. So I'm glad that Rulani now is giving them a run for their money. Andile. Gone are those days where coaches will be sitting at home there without analyzing anything. They don't analyze other team. They don't have data, nothing. Gone are those days, Andile. Gone are those days.
Dixon Gomshang, I appreciate you. Xolisa's here in Johannesburg. Xolisa. Oh, I think that's Xolisa gone. Brian.
Andile, how are you?
Yeah, no, I'm always good, man. The guys are here. Talk to us.
No, man, I would agree with Propilane when he says South African players are more comfortable here at home than compared to Nigerian guys and maybe West Africa. One other thing, most of those guys didn't even grow up in Africa.
Let me ask you one question. One question only, when Brian. How many South African players have been approached by the top 5 leagues that they can say, no, we're comfortable here? Because for you to be comfortable here, you have to be seen there and they have to say, we want you. How many have they wanted?
I don't think you need to start there by those top 5 leagues. You need to start maybe at Belgium.
Fine. How many are approached in Belgium?
This boy who just joined Standards Masiko.
Give me numbers. Don't give me names. Give me numbers. How many do you know that have been approached by the feeder leagues? We call them the feeder leagues, right?
I might don't have numbers, but it doesn't mean there were players that were not approached, Andy.
No, I hear you.
Honestly, some of the players in Africa, in West Africa, they started playing in France. Some of them.
No, I hear you.
They didn't grow up here in South Africa.
No, 100%. No, I mean a lot of the guys that are playing for the French national team, and some of the guys, grow up elsewhere in Europe and then decide to play for their mother countries here. That is a fact. Let's go to Benzo. Benzo's in Palm Ridge.
Hey, Mr. Andile, I hope you go to the guys there.
No, I'm good, man. The guys are here. Let's go into it.
Yes, I just want to talk about the coaching badges. We've been complaining as a country that we're saying it's been 30 years, no development with our soccer, blah, 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 and all this. And now, when Rulani talks about coaches having coaching badges, it is like an issue now. We need coaches to have coaching badges so that they can improve our soccer. We're not saying all the coaches that have coaching badges are going to make a difference, but it is a first step for us to have that way forward. And I hope TSL will put this, that saying all coaches that are coaching in flight, they need to have a qualification. That is when we're going to see our football improving. Other than that, we're going to complain here after 60 years saying our football is not going anywhere. And. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Benz. Let's go to Tabang. Tabang's in Meyersdale.
Andile, how are you, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Go straight into it, boy. The boys are here.
Talk about the game, Collections versus Chess Galaxy.
Go for it. Nadim has already given us a look into it.
Yeah, man, I'm pleased with our coach, Mulefenzeki. He shouldn't change our winning squad. Let's use it. If he doesn't change it, I see 3-0 for us there.
So you want the same lineup as what you guys had in the last game when you played?
Yeah, when we're playing against Cape Town City. He shouldn't change something. He should keep it like that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's a good formation for us, that one.
Do you agree, Nadim?
No, that game could have been. I wouldn't say it's a winning team. I mean, anyone would have won. From the 68th minute, you knew that whoever scored will win. So Chiefs are still looking for their best level
and a blueprint.
Tabang, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Andile is out in Cape Town. Andile.
Andile.
Hey, maparakia boy.
Listen. Ibola ihamba ne-discipline and hunger. If you are not disciplined, your hunger is going to drop. You cannot play soccer, but you are worried about what is going to happen in weekend. You focus on one thing. You play this thing to show the people that I'm going to get that jersey, number 15, because I'm going to work hard for it. I'm not going to even ask for it. It's going to be given to me. The hunger is not there. People there are busy trying to be all over the show in weekend.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The last one here is Tulani. Tulani's in Mpumalanga. Tulani. Oh, Tulani's gone. Temba at Edenvale. Temba, you the last one now.
Andile
Yes, sir.
Minjani futhi?
Hey, bathe ungangibizi man. Ndizongixabanisa nabantu man.
Alright, sharp. Uthemba from Edenvale.
Talk to me, Temba.
Uthemba from Edenvale. Listen, Andile. We have a talent in South Africa, my brother. Make no mistake about that. The thing is, those African players that they went there in Europe, especially France, baya ukhumbule abazali babo bavele bale bahamba babancane labafana baye kubazali babo.
That's a handful, Temba. Let's be honest.
No, not all of them.
That's not all of them. The bulk of the players are coming from their own country.
I understand, but remember South Africa, even if you check out map, better check abo Morocco, but to the kwabo Spain, bo Nigeria, but to the kwabo England.
Brazil.
Oh, that's the reason why you
Brazil. And how close is that? How close is that to Europe?
Yes, but the Brazilians, you can't compare the Brazilian players with us. But we have a talent, Andile.
But if we have a talent, we have a talent. Talent is talent. Why can't you compare our talent to other talent? That's who we play with.
Yeah, but that one is going to depend upon the agent. Remember, football is not like before now. The agent, if the agent and the chairman of that team, they sign the agreement or not that this player must go to that team, they need this amount of money to get that player. So it can't be. It's not like if you are good, we will take you to there. It depends about the agent and the chairman of the team.
I'll tell you what, we're going to carry on this conversation. I think I'll save a Wednesday and then we'll have this conversation properly.